Привет, comrades, and sorry about the cutoff. I thought it was still recording, but my dumb self pushed, the turn off screen button to save power or whatever, and I forgot that, stops the recording. So that is currently being uploaded as I am making this one. I figured I'd go ahead and do that. I don't know what to eat. I don't know what to ever eat. I'm just so blah. Ugh. A graham cracker, but I don't have any icing. Graham crackers with icing on them is amazing. And only really good if you get my family's recipe for icing, which is amazing. I may make a cooking video one day. I don't know. Possibly. That actually would be really good, wouldn't it? Follow the family recipes. I'd be betraying the family, I don't know. There is nothing in this house to eat. I mean, I have some eggs, but I don't have time to cook them. Or do I want to? It's work, and the gas stove is really hard to work. Ugh. Got pepperonis, but I hate pepperoni. I bought them for the rats. Yeah, I spoil my rats more than I do. I spent $40 on treats for them a few days ago. Like, I spent a huge chunk of my paycheck on feeding my rats. Because I have no self-restraint. But no, what was that? I was at the court thing that we haven't worked out and everything else. At the graduation, I am doing a lot better. There was 3 classes that I was really close to failing. One that I was already failing. But, then there was so there was one I was already failing and 2 that I was really close to. I've gotten my grades back from 2 of those classes. The ones I was really close to. I got let's see, what was it? I got an 88 on one exam, which was amazing. Like, I was just trying to pass with that, because it's an insanely hard class. I got an 88, so it boosted my grade up to like 86 or something in the class. I have a B, a high B, in a class that I had like a 40 at the end of the semester last semester. So, wow, and I thought I was doing a lot worse. So, maybe the mental health thing does play a big role there. The second one, I got an 85, and this is math. I don't do good in math. Even in high school, I was lucky if I got a 70 in remedial math. I got an 85, guys. Brings my grade up to like an 88 or something like that in the class, which is, again, a high B. I never thought I would have a B in a class. This is my 3rd time taking it, so I'm sure that plays a bit of a role in there. But I'm insanely proud of myself for that. I did not expect to get that high. It's like, oh my gosh. The grade has not come back for the class I was failing. In this class, again, I'm pretty sure I have to get 2 A's to pass the class. I may have to get a B. I don't know. She doesn't post any grades whatsoever, which makes it very difficult. I have some old tests, and I've been looking at them, trying to make out what my grade is. Trying to keep track of time. I don't have much time before I have to leave. Trying to make out what my grade is. It's pretty difficult to do so. She said that it will be the average of all your quizzes put together, and plus, exam 1, plus exam 2, plus exam 3, and then average all of that together. So, I have grades from 4 of the 5 quizzes we've taken. I don't know where my 5th one went. I probably threw it away. It was the very first one we took, so I probably did throw it away. Didn't think about it. I assumed, oh, we posted online or something like that. I don't know. So as it looks right now, I'm failing insanely badly, probably. Got like a 40 on one quiz and like a 60 on the other one. Or maybe even worse than that. But I did really bad on those. The exams, I mean. And the test quizzes, I've made about 4 out of 10 on each of them. More or less. Some were 3, some were 5. So not good on any of those. But they're not worth as much. So I don't even know if I have a chance to pass this class, but since exams are worth so much, I think if I at least get a B on each one, then it will bump it up, because I have 2 more exams and 1 more quiz. So I think I can pass this class. I'm working my ass off too. If I end up failing this class, I'll be insanely depressed. If I didn't even have a chance to pass it, I'll be like, why the fuck did I try so hard, Teacher said there is a chance to pass it, but she also said that was if you failed 2 exams. She didn't mention anything about the test. So, I don't know. I'm working my butt off for this. I need to graduate, or else I will never graduate, as I told you. So it's very important that I pass this class. Currently is the only one I'm doing bad in, which I'm super happy about. I'm not gonna stop studying for the other ones. You know, there's still 1 or 2 quizzes, I think, in each of those. And if I do badly on those, it kind of cancels out the fact that I did good on the last test, you know? Yeah. Ignore my eating over here. Now, I don't need to make a B in those classes. I just need to make at least a 70. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try and keep up my grade I currently have. I'm sorry, I'm eating a muffin. You want a muffin? No. They expired on Halloween, but they're okay. We're out of food, like, of every way, but bunch of muffins. But whatever. So I really need to pass these classes. I think I'm doing good. I walked away from that test feeling really, really good. I felt like I maybe knew all but like 10 or 15 questions, you know. And it was a really long test. So I was like, that makes great. You know, that sounds great. And I did the math, and if I miss 15 questions, I make a 70-something. So I was like, whoa, never mind. That's not as good as I thought it was. I thought I was doing really good, you know, but I don't know. But I also did some extra credit. Each extra credit is worth 0.23 points. So basically nothing. But, you know, any bit helps. You know, maybe there's a 0.23 points that bumps me over into passing. You never know. So I'm going to do it. But that happens. What was I getting at? I don't know what I was getting at, man. Maybe my Adderall's wearing off. That stuff is doing really good for me. Again, I was really iffy about taking it, but I think it's now pretty good. I'm not getting the full crashes like I used to when I first started, so I think my body's adjusted to it pretty well. It doesn't seem to last a full 6 hours like people were saying it will. Doctor said it lasts between 4 and 6 hours, and to not take more than 2 a day. So I didn't want to do it every 4 hours because, you know, then I'd be done pretty soon, you know, and only get 8 hours, and, you know, I'm going to be doing stuff for more than 8 hours in a day. So it's kind of difficult because, you know, I'm out and about for usually 14, 16 hours, more than that maybe, and I'm up all night studying. Like, I'm always busy. I only sleep for like a few hours a night, so 4 or 5 at most. So I need it to work all those other hours, and it, you know, that would mean I need more than 2 pills, which I can't do. I did take 3 once, and that was the day I had my bad seizure at work. I don't think that's what caused it, but it is what happened. Now, I don't know if I made a video of my seizure. I may be completely repeating myself here. But yeah, I had a seizure at work. Oh. Oh. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't want to talk with my mouth full. Okay, but yeah. Basically, I have epilepsy. But I've had it for long enough now that I can kind of tell when something's going to happen. Yeah, kind of a feeling like, you know, I'm starting to get lightheaded, stomach's starting to hurt, and I'm like, okay, it's coming, I need to sit down. And it comes fast. Like, I'll be like a little sick, and then boom, all at once, I feel like hell. And what sucks is I don't know when it's going to happen. I could feel like hell for 6 hours. I could feel like hell for 2 minutes and then seize on the floor. I don't know. That's the unfortunate part. I don't know when it will happen. I just know it's going to happen. I was working register that day, and it came up, and I just went to my coworker and I was like, can you please make a till? I hate to ask you this, but I'm about to seize. I need to go and sit in the office or something. Like, this is not good right now. I'm going to try to find someone who can take me home and for someone to cover. Because this person wasn't a key holder, it was just a cashier. And she did have to call me up multiple times throughout the night. You know, she's like, I'm so sorry, I know you're not feeling good. And I'm just like, I get it, you know, you're trying to do your job, you can't do your job without me here. And it's, you know, it's not your fault that you're at this disadvantage. So I was really good about it, but, basically, I called my boss multiple times. He would not answer. So I kind of sat in the office, you know, left messages for him to call me back, you know. Um, Eventually he did. Eventually. And I say eventually as in like a few hours later. And I was still sitting in the office feeling like crap, you know. Sometimes, you know, I guess I thought if maybe I could sit it and then it would feel better towards the end, it'd be okay. That happens sometimes, you know, you just kind of need to... Maybe I would just overwork, sit down for a minute, you know, let my body relax. I was sipping water, you know, trying to get... Because sometimes you can prevent them from happening. You never know. Well, finally he called and said, you know, hey, I'm out of town. I can't come in. And it's like, well, fuck you. No. Which was weird because he was supposed to open the next morning, like be there like at 5 a.m. So why are you out of town at like 9 o'clock at night? That doesn't sound very smart at all. It's only something I would do, honestly. But, you know. Huh. And he didn't get home until like midnight. Because they told me later on. He checked on me as soon as he got home. But he says, I can't do anything. Call Trixie to come in. And Trixie is the person who got me in my demotion at first. Very big hatred for her, but you know, whatever. Called her. Well, I didn't have her number. So I was like, can you give me her number then? Because I can't call her unless I have her number. It's not posted anywhere in the office. He's like, fine. So, you know, he looks it up and everything else. And so I call her multiple times. I text her. I do everything else by saying, hey, I need someone to come in. As it is, my words are starting to slur. I'm not sounding good at all. But I didn't want to leave the cashier alone. You know, that's just mean. Plus, someone has to do closing duties and stuff. But also, it's something as simple as, you know, I'm not going to be any help here. Recovery's not going to get done. Nothing else going to be done. You know, please come in. And I was supposed to open the next morning, too. So I was like, I need some rest to hopefully get over this. Well, she won't answer at all. Sat in the office some more. Ended up having a mini seizure. Nothing huge, like I wasn't spasming on the floor like, you know, some people, which I have had those before, you know, foaming at the mouth and everything else. It wasn't that bad. But I did kind of, you know, seize a little bit, not pass out onto the desk. I was out maybe a few minutes, which, you know, anything over a few minutes is like really dangerous. So nothing horrible, but I felt horrible coming back out of it, of course. And, you know, you usually take at least a few weeks to mentally recover after such a thing. Physically, mostly, too. Sorry, I keep checking the time. So I was not in a good place there. But boss finally calls back, like an hour to close. You know, by that point, it's like, wow, you're so helpful. And he says, you know, have you got a hold of Trixie? And I was like, no, I still haven't got she won't answer. And he's like, okay, fine, I'll call her. And then I'll call you back when I know what's going on. He never called me back ever, so I assumed that meant he never got a hold of her. And I assumed right, like I later found out, but... So I tried to get something done, because, you know, I was like, we need to count the stores, we need to do something here. So I tried to get some work done, ended up passing out in the aisle, which is very embarrassing. I'm glad I didn't hit anything, or at least I didn't think I hit anything. I'm glad that no customers walked by, or if they did, they didn't say anything, which I'm glad about, and then also kind of disappointed, because, like, no one helped me? Really? What the fuck? You know? But I'm glad that, you know, I didn't cause any big issue or frightening or anything else. Because then, it's, you know, it's embarrassing. You're waking up and all these people around you, and you're just like, hi. What do you say to that? I mean, there's nothing they can do other than just be worried. Like, they can't help you at all. So, people who have epilepsy or any type of seizure thing, we don't want attention at all. In fact, we want less attention, like, at all. We don't want people staring at us. We don't want anything like that. We want people to leave us alone. We need space, you know. Don't try to hold us down when we're seizing. You know, basic things. You know, don't try to be a hero. I guess I don't know. Don't mess with us, please. So I don't. Passing out is different than seizing, obviously, but I didn't want any attention or anything like that. So I'm glad that didn't happen. But ended up giving up. Just working. You know, I attempted to do some recovery before I passed out. I gave up. Sat in the office the rest of the night. I did do the change fund and counting the drawers and everything else. I was pretty slow at that. I called my grandma, basically saying there's no way I'm going to be able to drive home tonight, explain what was happening. I called her when it first started having issues. And she said, as soon as you find someone to replace you, I will be there. She even suggested when I wouldn't be able to get a hold of anyone, she started suggesting I just leave and lock up. She just kick everyone out and leave. She's like, this is not healthy at all. This is like a lawsuit waiting to happen. But I didn't. I stayed the whole time. She and her boyfriend came over. He drove his car to follow my grandma, who drove my car, and I was in the back of her car, or of my car, She dropped me off, and then she rode home with him, so that way I wouldn't have to go back for my car. I told my boss that night, I said, there's no way I'm going to be able to come in tomorrow morning. No way at all. And he says, okay, I understand that. Next morning comes, he calls me saying, where are you at? And I'm just like, I'm in bed. And he's like, well, I can't get a hold of Trixie to come in for you, so you're going to have to come in. And I'm just like, really? And he's like, I know this sucks, but I'll let you leave an hour early. And it's like, fine, whatever. I felt too bad for him. Plus, I was starting to feel really good. I was like, okay, I don't feel as bad anymore. And then, so I started eating, getting everything else, and then it kind of hit me on the drive there. Well, as it seems to do, it doesn't. You may feel better for a while until your body wakes up, I guess, and realizes it's in pain. So, felt pretty bad, but I was able to drive. Slowly. I got there, everything else, I started working. Trixie comes in. Like, not even, just like an hour after I get there. And he wants us all three to still be there, him, Trixie, and me. And I'm like, I can't be here, and I'm like, well, at least he's gonna let me leave at noon. He didn't let me leave at noon. Nope. He didn't let me leave until 1, which was the end of my shift. So, fuck you. He's like, well, you seem to be a lot better. You're smiling at customers and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, because I want my job. I don't want to lose my job, obviously. Plus, I am just a nice person, I'm not going to be like, customer, how are you? And I'm not going to be like, I'm recovering from a seizure. You don't, no, because that starts a conversation, anything else, and the work gets done, and it's just time consuming and annoying. I'm going to be like, I'm great, thanks, how are you? I'm not going to start shit. I'm going to smile and be cutesy, and as soon as you leave, I'm going to be like, oh, my head. I'm not going to start shit. But I seem to be doing so much better. It took me over a week to recover from that. Probably about a while. I don't know. I'm still, I'm in a better place now from that. I both feel good right now, but it's from overstressed and everything else, which is not something I should have been doing so soon after a seizure and fainting and everything else. But, I worked. I did good, I think. Work wasn't nearly as good as usual, I'm sure. But, I worked. And again, I don't know if I talked to you about this. I may be completely repeating myself. If I am, you don't have to listen to it. But the update with that is that the next morning when Trixie came in, she's like, I'm sorry, I would have come in, but I was like out cold, I worked all night and da-da-da. She's like, I worked all night, I'm cleaning my house and stuff. And so I was out cold by the time you called. And I'm like, I called at 7. Or like 7 or 8. Like, who falls asleep at 7 or 8? Even if you're overworked, you just kind of sit down or something. Like, you don't... How old are you? No, it's kind of mean, but I'm just like, oh yeah, I understand, And again, I do get it. It was her day off. Her one day off for like 2 weeks in a row. It's her first day off. And I get that. You want your day off. But again, she'd only be working like an hour or two. But, I get it. It's not convenient in any way whatsoever. But there's no one else I could have called, so... but, it happened, and things like that. Things happened. This is... Yeah. I was doing this more as a continuation of the last video that I just posted, even though it's not really relating to it at all. So I don't even know what I would relate it to. Court, school, things doing okay. Free Bendy game. I really want a game capture software. If you guys have any idea how to do that, I would love to be able to film it at all and have my voice there. But I would absolutely love where there's like the little, picture in the corner or whatever of me. Not picture, but like the little face, and I can, react and stuff like that, which I think would be really cool. That's one of the main reasons I started YouTube. Well, I started YouTube to make AMVs, and that was years and years and years ago. But one of the main reasons I changed my account name and got, starting the vlogs and everything else, that was what I was going to go to. Couldn't do that. So I was like, I'll just educate on mental illness while I'm here. And then here I'm at, loving my mental illness chapters and stuff. Um, you know. But I loved game capture software. I'm trying to be careful. The last one that I was recommended by a lot of people online. Maybe it was just because I had the free one, so it's people embed that in. It was like a free sample thing. Bad download link. I don't know. Destroyed my computer. Like wiped out everything. Keyboard stopped working. Everything's just dead screen. So I'm kind of iffy about that. As much as I would love a free one, I may go ahead and buy an actual software. Remy, you're in my camera. Remy, stop. Remy, stop messing with my stuff. Okay, you just sit on my lap. Look at that baby. Look at that sleepy baby. Remy, look at me. Remy, you gonna pretend I'm not here? I try not to get them on my lap because I'm in work clothes and it's all black, so hair sticks to it really easy. And they are literally walking balls of hair. So, but they're purring and they need attention and junk. You see, these are stale. I found some Funyuns. They were like sealed and stuff, or like, wrapped up. But it's been a few days, like a week almost. So I don't know if they're still good. They're still good. Funyuns are one of those things I love to death, but I always get sick eating them. So I only eat like a little bit at a time, like a handful or so, because I get sick of eating more than that. Might be a little stale. Also, the taste of coffee in my mouth and Funyuns not a good mix for that. But basically, glad things happen. Glad things are going good in my life now. They're starting to get better. I say starting to get better. They're still as crappy as can be. I'm just used to it now, I guess. But school thing's working out. I will get my name and gender changed eventually. Probably gonna be too late, but I'll need it eventually. I'll need it for applying to places. There's no way I could work for CPS very well without my name changed. Because newsflash, I'll be in courts and stuff a lot with the children, verifying this is what I saw, da-da-da. I can't use a fake name in a legal situation. And it's not fake, like Eli is my name. But legally it is not. So I'd have to use Rebecca and Miss and things like that. And you look at me, I would not pass as a Miss. So they assume my information's flawed, or, incorrect, like I am not who I say I am. Or I'm insanely, like instantly outed as a trans person. And then all respect, just, And, we don't get a lot of respect to begin with. And that's even if the place would hire me. CPS would be kind of like, this seems like it's going to cause a lot of issues. I'm not going to hire you. Or you're just going to be a desk worker or whatever. And I want to be in the field. So, we're looking at that. Trying to get that working out. Why is my camera really bad quality when I'm inside and, like, really amazing quality when I'm outside? Why? No shave November, guys. I failed it with my hair, apparently. I think that's funny. Laugh with me. No, but doing good. Doing good. We had a funny situation in class. My teacher on Tuesday that no one likes, like she's the class I'm doing bad in, that she's just a bitch of a teacher. And I don't say that a lot of people. It's very hard for me to judge someone as a bitch, but she's generally a bitch. And so she said she was going to be going at a conference, so we're going to have a different teacher fill in for today. The whole class started cheering, and the TA quickly was like, "Oh yeah, they're so glad that you're getting a break. Much deserved break." And da. And she's just like, "Oh, that's great." And she left to go get our test or something like that. And TA was like, "Guys, don't cheer in front of her. Wait till she leaves at least. Like, come on." She's like, "I agree with you guys. Just please wait till she leaves." Like, she's a mean teacher, even though TA doesn't like her. But the teacher that filled in was amazing because she's my math teacher. And I was like, oh, I know you. Which is interesting because the person she worked under when she was training to be a teacher or whatever, had schizophrenia. And the lesson today was about schizophrenia. So I was like, that's really cool. And then apparently her cousin has schizophrenia. So we got to see a first-hand thing and stuff like that. And she got us more information about it. So yeah, it's more than... We're going to be a little behind compared to other classes. But I'm glad about that because we can understand it more. And we got more insight into it. You know? Other classes, she's just like boom, boom, boom with the slides. This one's like watching videos, telling life stories, and like that. So we're probably going to seem really behind to her. She's going to be like, now we have to catch up. But it's like, I like that we actually got a chance to learn. And a lot of it I knew because, you know, I have it and my dad has it and everything else. But it's still nice to hear about other people's stories and things like that. We got a video about a 5-year-old who has schizophrenia. She may have been 7 or 8, but she was diagnosed when she was 5, and she had schizophrenia. And, you know, they did not want to diagnose her, of course, because they don't even want to diagnose people my age with schizophrenia. Like, it's a very hard to get diagnosed for that. But they didn't want to diagnose her with it. But she had every single symptom, and they were trying so hard to make it something else. Like, oh, it's imaginary friends, or did it. As she got older, you know, she started getting more symptoms. She started, having outbursts. She started like physically turning to people and talking to them and they weren't there. Which, you know, imaginary friends, you do that, I guess, a little bit, but you would do it in public places and things like that. And, you know, as you get in school, you usually stop that. And, you know, she was not middle school yet, but like 3rd, 4th grade or so, or well, 5th grade be, 5-year-old would be like elementary school, you know, like kindergarten. But it's still just, they started seeming off. Took her to a psychologist to, you know, just get basic anger things because she was like lashing out at people and stuff. And psychologist said, you know, it's textbook schizophrenia. The only issue with schizophrenia is not supposed to come into effect until 17 to 23. So obviously that's a pretty big issue there. I gotta get up. Come on. He's purring so loudly I don't want to move him. Come on, Remy. I gotta go work. I'll still be filming while I'm driving, don't worry. Remy, no. He's like, please, no. But you know, they didn't want to diagnose her, but he says textbook. So they put her on medication eventually. I don't know how long this process took to get her on medication. Oh, ow, I stepped on a Loki. Loki's black and my hallway's black, so I can't see him. But, you know, I don't know how long they waited or anything like that, but they got her on a very strong antipsychotic medicine, which schizophrenia meds usually are. And it's a big controversy, obviously, because was 5, you know? So it's a very big and so she looks dead to the world, you know? Her eyes are sunken in. She looks like a mental and physical health nightmare. But to be fair, she might have looked that way before. We don't know. I'm taking pills before I go to work. Just Excedrin, guys. I'm not a druggie. Well, I am a druggie. I'm a legal druggie. No. How many pills I'm on. I'm sure the camera flipping is annoying you guys so much. Oh. Okay. I can't take pills with liquid. I'm sorry. A lot of people like dry swallow. That sounds bad that way, but I can't do it. I get sick if I do it. Off to do the car, off to the car, off to the car of Carrington. There's poop all over this living room. I'm sorry. I don't want to start shit. I told you this. I don't want to start shit. My video's almost up anyway, so I'm just gonna end it probably here. But yeah, they didn't want to treat her. She got treated. I'm not sure if she has schizophrenia or not. She is definitely not mentally sane right now. But is that because of her schizophrenia? Or is it because she's on medication that she should not be on? I don't know. I didn't see her before she was medicated. You know, you never know. So, do I think she needs help? Oh, definitely she needs help. But what type of help? That's a good discussion. Good discussion there, because, you know, what really does she have? Is it really imaginary friends they just blew out of proportion, and now she has schizophrenia because of the meds? You know, the meds can cause that. It could be imaginary friends she blew out of proportion. They blew out of proportion, and their anger issues could have been for something else, you know? But they said she would disassociate. She wouldn't remember having anger issues, which a lot of diseases can have that. You know, a lot of anger things can have that. But I don't know. Up for a good discussion. Her name is January, which is interesting. And she doesn't like being called January. Better call her Jan, or else she will attack you. That's fun. But we can discuss that on another basis. For now, I don't want to make too many videos in one day. I've been told they're getting too long. You know, part 1, part 2, part 3, you know. So I'm going to end it here. You know, just great catching up with you guys. I'm going to go off to work, which is going to be hell. So I'm going to love it. Bye. TF Colm signing off. Y'all come back now, you hear?